first got here, I thought I'd seen the whole clubhouse. We toured, all right, here's the learning center, cold storage, storage, and then the loading dock. So we toured around, like I thought I'd seen everything, and I was kind of expecting a club like this that's had so much history to have something like this. And when then I didn't see anything, I was kind of disappointed. I'm kind of like, where's all the stuff? You gotta have stuff. And I didn't think they had it. And then I think like 4 months into it, the assistant at the time was like, oh, I gotta go down to the history room. Destined badge from a U.S. Amateur Championship, September 22nd to 27, 1930.
Look at the dedication to content. I got a phone in one hand and a GoPro in the other.
One of the questions we knew we wanted to answer in this series is, what does it take to put on a Ryder Cup? I think we both kind of walked away amazed at the actual depth of everything that goes into putting one of these things on.
You need a lot of room, and that's what we have here at Hazeltine National. After the 91 Open, they purchased a lot of the land surrounding the golf course. We could build on, we could park on, we could do whatever we needed to do with. It's just huge. It just lends itself really well to large tournaments, like the biggest tournaments.
Just got to make sure that all the support systems are in place and all those kinds of things that aren't really glamorous, like outhouses, for example, and garbage pickup and delivery, and all those kind of behind the scenes things that happen in basically running a city for a week, 65,000 people.
We started building in June for an end of September event. I mean, the 2 million square feet of temporary floors and tents.
It's like an iceberg. I mean, 90% of the experience for all of us involved, really is the work behind the scenes. 98%, 99%. Volunteers are obviously a big part of it, 4,000 volunteers and a wait list for that.
I had a fantastic operations team here to execute and build the little city that we had, or really kind of a big city.
When I got hired, I didn't even know what it was going to be. I've just become a head professional for the first time. My mindset in coming up here was I just want to support the people that are already in place. I'd never been around a Ryder Cup before.
It was a lot of hours that we put in, and I had a great team that I worked with here, that we came to work every day for 2+ years. In some cases, there's a couple that worked for more than that.
In earnest, we started 4 years in advance. Jeff came on about 2 years outside the event, and that partnership is really about making for a great fan experience.
We wanted it to be spirited and lively, and it's home court advantage.
As host, everything we can do to help win.
At the end of the day, you really want to win. You feel like you're part of the team. You really do. I mean, a little part of us maybe just hopes that we had a little bit to do with the outcome of the event, because we set up the venue as a kind of a home field advantage for the team.
And the excitement level starts to ramp up. You kind of feel the anxiety, you can hear the anxiety, and it just builds and builds and builds.
And then when it's here and the lights are on and you're show ready, it's kind of gives you goosebumps.
I'm getting tingles right now just thinking about it, to be honest. You are too, Alex.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
This membership is phenomenal. They give up the golf course, there's a lot of sacrifices, but they embrace it, and again, they knew what they're signing up for, and that's what they wanted.
The club here has a long history of hosting big events.
That was Corporate 10 in 1970. There's your first tee starting tents.
Jeez.
And then the wind blew about 40 miles an hour here. It's really what set us back 20 years. So, Dave Hill made his comments about us being a cow pasture, and we were 8 years old. We were probably just maybe not ready for the big scene yet. So over the next 20 years, we really had to change the golf course a lot, straighten out a lot of the hard dog legs, change a few holes. Some of these holes, you wouldn't even recognize it.
Because this was the old 17th? Is that right? Yeah.
Right. Yep, par 4, correct.
Par 4 that people weren't real fond of.
And there was the original 16.
That's old 16.
And it wasn't really, I think, until about the 91 US Open when Payne Stewart won that we got back on the national stage, and that really kind of set us up to start working with the PGA, and eventually led to the Ryder Cup.
Look at the scaffolding in 1970 for the cameras.
Yeah. It's like Woodstock. Well, I think it's a year after Woodstock. So this guy on the right is Don Warnian. We've had 3 pros in 57 years. Don took it for 13 years. Mike Schultz, who's in the PGA Hall of Fame, took it for 37. And then I'm trying to get to year 8.
We are cruising along some Midwestern freeway. I don't really even know which one we're on. Some foliage. The temperature is noticeably dropping. We are at 50 and falling. Florida boys do not like that. We've been a little bit climatized, if being honest. Rolling straight to the tee. We're gonna do another match. We're tied at a half point each. We're gonna play a full handicap and just each play our own 2-man scramble and see what we shoot. So each person in these matches kind of has a bit of a home course advantage. So in match 1, me playing at 7,700 yards was a home course advantage for DJ Pye. Let's just be honest. To scratch out a half point, we are thrilled to be on to Wisconsin.
In enemy territory.
In enemy territory. This is a home course advantage for me. We think that the way it's set up probably should be an advantage for me. I should win this today, but we'll find out.
I'd never seen a live Ryder Cup, so go over to Scotland just to see the last one before it's our turn. What can we learn? I remember sitting in front of the stage at closing ceremonies, looking up at the despondent USA team, very dejected. You could tell they just looked like they didn't care, weren't interested. It was a weird feeling. I just remember wondering, like, what team is going to show up on our doorstep here in 2 years?
We had a dinner with Davis. To hear him talk about the meltdown at Medina, how bad that hurt him, it was emotional. It clicked. Like, okay, now I get it. This is more than just an exhibition or a golf match. This is really important to Davis and his family, and it's important to the players.
Who's the rain favorite today?
Well, based on what you just told me, I think the rain would favor me because you fear that the driver's going to fling out of your hand and fly down the fairway. I'm not a mutter.
Too much speed.
I know, I'm not a mutter. But at Whistling Straits, rain really didn't bother me, which is weird. I don't know. I'm not as nervous about it. I'm not as nervous about it as I should. If you come like prepared in rain gear and you know it's just going to be a shitty day, then you can handle it a lot better. Did you get some merchandise inside?
I did. I'm going to be a little conflicting. We didn't bring enough stuff on this trip, so Chandler was nice enough to go through his Ryder Cup drawer, figure out what he had for us to use. So he gave me this nice hat, and he also gave us...
You look like David Faraday.
This legitimately sums up my feelings on the Ryder Cup right now. It's like, I know my head is here, but like, I just have...
This is the safety net.
This is the safety net, yeah. That's exactly right.
The weather was a theme. Weather was a factor. We can't reiterate this enough. The weather they've gotten at these Midwestern Ryder Cups has been... it's such a coin flip, and they have gotten a lot of coin flips right in a row. Here's another good example of what the weather could look like on the day the Ryder Cup was supposed to start.
This is an unsafe working environment. I feel like I'm gonna catch pneumonia or something.
File an HR complaint?
Yeah.
Send all that to BigRandy@NoLayingUp.com.
Okay.
It was a day when, of course, if you're playing recreational golf at home, probably skipping golf this day, but with so much on the line,
Way too much.
with such a fierce competition already getting underway, I mean, there's nothing you can do except go out and compete.
All right, here we go. Me versus DJ Pye. He wanted to move up the tees a little bit, so we're gonna give him 75.
No, the setup committee jointly moved up the
75% handicap, 6 strokes. We're each gonna play a scramble with 2 balls. Get ready to pump up the crowd here on the first tee here at the Ryder Cup.
You know, you could dream up all kinds of wild scenarios on where to play the Ryder Cup, because I think the end result is you're going to get that passion, you're going to get the spirit, you're going to get all of that stuff that you don't get week to week.
When you're on the property during a Ryder Cup, it is so incredibly electric.
Especially those big roars, you're looking around, look at a match like, all right, they're on 7, like, okay, that must have been them. He must have made eagle or something like that.
The best part is you could be on one side of the golf course and something could happen on the complete other side of the golf course, and you know exactly what happened just by the sound of the crowd noise.
We want them to know that we just did something well.
The energy that was here, you could feel it.
Fans can really feel like they can impact the outcome is really special.
I feel like P. Reed. P. Reed would be out here in short sleeves if this was the Ryder Cup. Only ones on the golf course. We decided to play our own 2-ball scramble.
The
I've
self
never done
scramble.
that. Yeah.
Never done it either. It's weird. It like both takes pressure off completely and also puts a ton of pressure on. When you do hit a good first one, you're like, oh my god, now I can absolutely just go for it.
Oh my god, I've never seen a golf ball do that.
Whoa.
All right.
Wow. When you hit a bad first one, it's like, oh, what if I hit a bad second one? That would be totally fucked.
That one.
Now the pressure's on his second ball.
Why is he doing that?
I think just keep it in play, right?
I mean, you get 2 balls.
That's what I mean.
I hope you can keep one of the 2 in play.
The rain suits are working.
This is literally the week of the Ryder Cup. Same time 3 years ago, it was 75 and sunny out here.
Anything could happen. That's my mindset today. Anything could happen.
Except you beating me.
I could beat him one time.
Oh, it's the same thing! The shit talking has grinded to a halt.
Is there something wrong with this? Like barometric pressure?
Something's not right. What the hell is going on? Do we have 2 off the first tee with 2 balls?
We just hit 4 squeeze gross fades.
All right, let's go.
Let's go launch him.
DJ Pye from 227 here at the first.
He's got 5.
He's got 5 foot.
You learn a lot through losing, and you start looking at things differently, and you're willing to consider things that you hadn't before. I made some phone calls to prior golf pros for the Ryder Cup. I think there's 7 or 8 living in the United States, so not many to call about what was their experience, what did they learn, what would they wish they had done differently.
Just short.
What could I do that you wish you had done?
All right, that'll play.
Totally play.
So that gave me a little bit of an idea about what to expect. I think to a man, I said, when it comes to the team, don't get your expectations up to be too involved. They'll kind of keep it at an arm's length.
Not even close.
Not even close.
They kind of handle the show. So that was my expectation until we found out who the captain was going to be.
Also short of the bunker.
My 195 club.
I met Davis at Seminole when I was working down there in 2005. The pro knew I'd never met him before, and he made sure I caddied for him in that event. And it's one of those nervous moments where you've looked up to this guy for so long. Is he going to be what you hope he is? And he was even better. Couldn't have been nicer to me, more supportive of me in my career, and wanted to become a PGA professional. And when I found out that he was going to be our captain, it changed immediately the relationship that I thought I was going to have with the captain. If it were anybody else, I'm probably talking about it from a third-person experience of watching it just like you did.
Don't need the second one.
Takes the early lead. Grade 3.
My mindset was, how can I help? Came down to the golf course. How would we set up the golf course? It is such an advantage for the home team if they use it the right way. So I had gone back and really spent a lot of time watching past Ryder Cups, specifically looking for why do we lose? Specifically the losses. What sticks out? Does anything stick out? We started picking up some trends there, and then we started putting it with some numbers. What is the collective strength of our team? We wanted to set the golf course up to our collective strength. I think we did that.
DJ Pye's third on number 2.
I wouldn't naturally expect the head pro to be as involved as Chandler was, but it speaks to lessons learned, and it speaks to hey, we need to be very in touch with this golf course, and we should probably have somebody on as a resource that knows the ins and outs of this place as we go to set it up for 3 days of competition.
I think it also probably speaks to Davis Love, right? And not having an ego and not being afraid to kind of take advice from anybody, and not, he wasn't walling himself off and I'm only going to listen to you, and you. He was, willing to kind of take advice across the board, which is pretty cool, especially for somebody in a position like that.
We're gonna be doing a lot of testing today. We're gonna try to go gloveless.
This looks real good.
Oh.
Real short. Take 2, hole 4. Oh, the testing period is over. Plug Nash. You can chip that in.
For sure.
That finds the bunker. Now, how will he adjust?
That's the hosel.
That was the hosel.
Club just slid right down my hand.
Well, that's not good.
That plus the alignment issues.
The issues
are stacking right now.
The atmosphere was very intentional for 2016. I think they were intentionally, they picked Cooch, to be a loose guy. They brought Bubba Watson up as an assistant captain to be fun Bubba, but we kept talking about you gotta have fun with it. We felt like we're gonna play our best if we play loose and we have fun. We're gonna implode from within if we play tight and serious. So we wanna be focused, but we wanna have fun.
First attempt at a 6. P good? Hey,
All right, we're up.
yikes, that's not the club.
Soly's got a club change. That looks pretty good.
Don't spin.
Ooh.
Not great. Oh, well, that's pretty fun.
Yeah!
Birdie.
The week of the tournament, I was sitting at open ceremonies and they're starting to announce the first pairings. And I'm just kind of doing the matchups in my head. I'm like, it might get us on that one. Oh, that one might get us. And it started to cross my mind that, like, what if we're sitting here 3 days from now watching Europe raise the cup again?
Okay.
Good putt.
You love to be involved with the Ryder Cup, but there's a risk that comes along with that, is that you might not win. You know, it's like asking the woman to marry you. She might say no. You know?
Good safe one, now you can run at one.
All right.
You're feeling pretty confident about it, but what if?
That one's wet.
So we're 6 holes in.
Yeah.
DJ has used 3 of his 6 strokes and is at 3 under par?
Correct.
And I'm at 2 under par. So he has 3 strokes remaining, 12 holes, 1 shot lead. Feel like you're winning? Or?
Yeah, I feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A couple mistakes, a couple lucky breaks, but you know,
Okay.
keep it moving.
All right. The 2016 Ryder Cup was hands down the greatest sports experience I've had in my entire life. And I did my best to, you know, be walking as close to the players as I could in between the holes. Like, I'm never gonna get to experience tens of thousands of cheering fans, like yelling USA. I can kind of pretend like I was on the team.
What's this hole like during the Ryder Cup?
Oh God, this was like the scene. It was huge, enormous grandstand, went all the way around there. Big Jumbotron up there. You could see just 40 rows of people lined up on that hill. It's such a good amphitheater for viewing. And this is where Rory, on Friday afternoon, drained the bomb eagle putt to close out a match and bowed to the crowd. One of the all-time taunts, and he actually one-upped himself a day later. We'll get to that hole later.
Here it was. There's nothing more that we could do. The event was happening. It was on TV.
And then the players walk up and everything's unleashed.
You got to walk in the tunnel and just hear and feel the passion of what like makes this event a real thing. And I'm not kidding. The hair on my arm just stood up a little bit thinking about it.
And there was just enough Euros there that it would start an Olay chant. Like there was about 25% maybe.
Yeah.
And then it would just get drowned out by this. So that's what this is. It's like, no, you're not getting an Olay chant in here. No. No chance.
It's wild seeing Hazeltine in the 2 most polar opposite settings you could. Couldn't be more jam-packed Ryder Cup competition day, hyped fans, people there 2 hours in advance of the first tee time, and just a completely empty golf course. Not another soul on it.
Run out of golf balls.
When we're out there, you know, no offense to Hazeltine, no offense to anyone, but when you're out there, like Hazeltine feels like a pretty run-of-the-mill golf course. There's nothing crazy standout about it, I wouldn't say.
Folks, we have a developing situation.
When you actually put all that infrastructure around it, you put all that meaning and context and everything behind it. I mean, they could be playing the Ryder Cup at the Jack's Beach Muni if it had all of that stuff, and you just all the golf course aspects almost kind of fade away when the hype is that big and when the kind of energy is that big.
Take 2, save par on 8. Great putt.
Up and down in the cinch.
Still leads by 1.
Looking at these images of us playing, does it feel like that this enormous event happened here 3 years prior to this? It doesn't. You just feel totally disconnected from, past events. I love going places and just being in the same place and playing courses, reliving historical moments where things happen. So we're on the 18th hole. This was the 9th hole for the Ryder Cup. Coming from what was the 8th, what's really the 17th, all the media that comes through there all turns right and heads up the fairway. But I was trying to see as many tee shots as I possibly could. I loved watching the shots from the tee box. So I was the only one that went back to this tee box. It's a Saturday afternoon. Rory and Thomas Pieters are playing Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson. I had been pining for DJ and Koepka to get paired together. Rory and Pieters are 3 up on the team that I really wanted to be together. So they're smoking them. Rory hits his tee shot, crushes it, and I'm sitting on this bench over here. He comes over, throws something in the trash, and just sits next to me and just nudges me. He's like, hey, you got your wish, huh? Smoking the team that I wanted. They were up 3, and they went on to just roll them, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is shit-talking in the middle of the Ryder Cup. He's not even remotely nervous. He doesn't give a single F of what's going on out here, and it was a life-changing moment for me. I'm not gonna lie. I was working in accounting on the other side of the world, and to like come over and have that happen was like, okay, maybe we should like go do this full time or something like that.
Well, hey, you wanted to play this format. You know, you got your wish.
Oh yeah, that's safe up.
Right in the middle of your story. I checked out in the middle of the story.
Winning makes 4 years plus of work more worthwhile.
I moved here with my family to come here every single day to work on an event. We could have had this grand event. We could have had great weather. We could have broke all records for corporate hospitality and ticket sales. But if we didn't get a win, I don't know that we would see all the Ryder Cup logos in town. I still see them almost daily, where you have this sense of pride in the community that, you know, the community helped get a win for the Americans.
No! Fuck, that hurt! Damn it. That's just, my fingers are now numb. That was a horrible contact.
Soly, he's looking for a miracle here. Good contact. Very nice shot. Not miraculous, but very nice. Now this is his last bullet. Oh, valiant effort.
All right.
That's gonna just about do it, folks.
There's like a 60-second window, I think, when everything closed on Sunday night, where the team was going over the bridge, spraying champagne on the crowd. Davis comes over and gives me a hug, and we go over and we celebrate. And then I come over to the other side of the bridge, and my wife and family, you know, my kids were there. It's a good 60 seconds when you realize, like, this could look a lot different right now, but, you know, one actually went our way.